Junior Rotax are making their way out onto track, and as we expected, it is Amy Peacock on pole position, 145 points amassed so far this race weekend, with Joseph Yao in second on 144. Then it's Oscar War on 143 before we've got a gap back to Ben Adrian in fourth place. Harry Holland and Stanley Clark are fifth and sixth, with Max Wilkinson and Riley Sims-Ezard seventh and eighth. Then we've got Sebastian Corking and Alex Lynn, with Elliot Dalton Ayres and Samuel Yeadon in 11th and 12th. Freddie Witherington starts 13th, Holly Swan 14th, with Freddie Lloyd and Sebastian Benson in 15th and 16th. Luke Walton starts 17th, and then we've got Melissa Adrian in 18th after her removal from the standings in Heat 1. And we're missing Toby Bedford, who had some problems earlier on and won't take any part in this final. Through we go then towards the first corner, away and racing, and Amy Peacock on the inside. Holds firm, but it's Oscar War coming through into second place as Joseph Yao is muscled out of second place. So Amy Peacock leads them through as Oscar War gets a handy little help by Joseph Yao to remind he's there. And we've got a spin at hairpin number 1. It's Holly Swan who's round in the 95 machine. Leaders running down the back straight. Ben Adrian making early inroads past Harry Holland, who'd got past him at the start from the inside berth, and Holland's going to lose another place as well as Max Wilkinson comes through and down the inside of him. So Amy Peacock goes round the national loop and almost loses it. The cart not quite giving her the grip. Luke Walton peels off into the pit lane in the number 12 cart. He's going to retire, the first retiree of this Junior Rotax final. He's off into the pit lane. So Amy Peacock leading from Oscar War. We're up to 12 minutes rather than the 10 for the heats for this final. And Peacock with a train of carts all the way down to 5th place Max Wilkinson, with Harry Holland, Stanley Clark and Riley Sims-Ezard behind. Then we've got Sebastian Corking and Elliot Dalton Ayres 9th and 10th. Freddie Witherington and Sebastian Benson are 11th and 12th. Alex Lynn, Melissa Adrian and Samuel Yeadon, with Holly Swan off the tail of the field after that spin earlier. And then we've got Luke Walton and Freddie Lloyd, who's not out. Don't know whether it shows that he did cross the line at the start, but hasn't then registered after that. So it looks like he's peeled straight off into the pits to the rolling start earlier on. Second place Oscar War is coming under pressure from Joseph Yao. So head through that D chicane, the top 5 on a bit of a breakaway. Stanley Clark has found a way past Harry Holland, as has Riley Sims-Ezard. So another tap by Joseph Yao on Oscar War into hairpin 1. Contact warning for the 75 of Sebastian Benson. I wouldn't be surprised to see one in a few moments' time for Joseph Yao as well, for the move on Oscar War into hairpin 1. Found a way through though and up into second place. And that's going to give Amy Peacock a little bit of respite at the front. Gap is half a second as Sebastian Benson crosses the line to see his contact warning flag. Still only a quarter of the way through this race, and Amy Peacock doesn't, while she's leading and is holding on, doesn't look at all comfortable with the handling of the cart and has a nervous look back to Joseph Yao behind. We'll see whether she's gone high on pressures. Cart, particularly around the left-hand corners of hairpin 1 and hairpin 4, seems to be a bit of a handful for Amy Peacock. National loop as well. That's a right-hander, so that's a little bit better. But Joseph Yao is close enough to Amy Peacock, and she does find a way to hold on around hairpin 1 and 2. So Peacock from Yao. So they go down that back straight. Yao is out of the slipstream of Amy Peacock, and she's through down the inside Here's Joseph Yao. Yao on Amy Peacock. Peacock can't hold on. She's trying to fight back. Now just have to duck in behind Joseph Yao. Now it's the time to push for Amy Peacock. Just push Joseph Yao away from Oscar Waugh, Max Wilkinson and Ben Adrian. Stanley Clark as well. And Riley Sims-Ezard, who's closed in on the back of Stanley Clark since they both got past Harry Holland. Then the gap was out slightly. Now he's going with them on the previous lap. Clark was 4/10 quicker than Ben Adrian in front, as we have a contact warning for Amy Peacock. And she's dropped back behind Oscar Waugh. Now she's back through on Oscar Waugh down the inside of hairpin number 3, hairpin 3 and 4. Side by side with Waugh over start finish. Peacock is back through and up into second place. Contact warning on the overhead gantry. Don't know how much of that she'll have seen as she was in the midst of battle with Oscar Waugh over start finish. They've got to try and work to try and get onto the back of Joseph Yao and save him from escaping, because Stanley Clark and Riley Sims-Ezard are right on the back now of this one. Sims-Ezard's going to have a radiator flap adjustment, trying to get a little bit more air in the engine, keep the temperatures down. So Joseph Yao under pressure once again from Amy Peacock, although Peacock again seems to be gripping up a little bit too much around those corners, but she has opened up the gap to Oscar Waugh. Now can Peacock come good again? Personal best for Peacock, 41.969, 2/10 quicker than Joseph Yao, and we're not even at half race distance yet. Straight line into hairpin number 2 sees Amy Peacock back past Joseph Yao at the front of this race, and Amy Peacock trying to hold on. Yao's coming back down the inside into South Bank. Peacock's going to run wide round the outside, and Peacock, fresh off a victory last weekend at Fullbeck, wants to take one here at Teesside as well, and she's back down the inside of Joseph Yao. Side by side over start finish. Yao is back through, and Yao holds on from Amy Peacock, but that has allowed Oscar Waugh back into the mix as well. And Amy Peacock is round and backwards. The door open, and Oscar Waugh with the nose down the inside, and Amy Peacock from pole position falls all the way down the order. She's not even back on track. She is now behind the 19 of Freddie Witherington. She's 15th is Amy Peacock. And Joseph Yao now has a gap of around about a second and a half. Down the inside of Oscar Waugh has gone Max Wilkinson for second place. And Sims-Ezard is through as well on Stanley Clark. That was on the previous lap. He's up into P5 now, is Riley Sims-Ezard. As Sebastian Benson's traumatic day comes to an end already, he's off into pit lane with a early trip back to the paddock, unfortunately, not for the first time this weekend as well, sadly for Sebastian Benson. Joseph Yao is off into the distance though. Gap of 1.4 seconds. That'll be even more at the end of this lap with the way that those behind the battling. So Yao will cross the line with 4 minutes to go with Max Wilkinson and Oscar Waugh. Ben Adrian, Riley Sims-Ezard and Stanley Clark. Sims-Ezard tries a little nose down the inside of Ben Adrian there, as we've got Elliot Dalton Ayres off track at hairpin number 1. Kart stationary. He's looking back at the engine as to what the problem might be. He's going to try and rejoin the track, is he? He does, albeit at the time almost in the path of Holly Swan, but he's rejoined. He's going to try and get the kart back to the pit lane at the very least. Stan Clark's found a way past Riley Sims-Ezard on that last lap. Moves him up into 5th place. So Yao now with a gap of 1.7 seconds. Elliot Dalton Ayres brings his kart back in with a slap of the steering wheel. He's clearly not happy. 2 minutes and 50 on the clock. Things have calmed down a little bit in this battle for second place that goes deep into the field with Riley Sims-Ezard in P6. Not too far back then to Sebastian Corking, Melissa Adrian and Alex Lynn. We'll see what pans out. I get the feeling these drivers might just take it up a notch a little bit further on into this race as Melissa Adrian's found a way past Sebastian Corking. She's up into 7th. There's a train of karts that we're going to follow, probably now until the end actually, just because of how close they are. Just settling in. Still plenty of time to go as they cross the line, still with 2 minutes on the clock, so 4 laps of racing for our junior Rotax runners. Joseph Yao is comfortable at the front. Juniors together, and Sims-Ezard tries the straight line down into hairpin 2, and Sims-Ezard is through. A superb move by the youngest driver on the grid here in junior Rotax. He's had plenty of practice in that junior already, and he's going to try and move on. Oh, and there's contact in front of them. Oscar Waugh into the back of Max Wilkinson, and that sees Stan Clark in the wall as well. Riley Sims-Ezard from 6th place at the start of the lap is in 2nd place now. Melissa Adrian, who was 7th, is up into 4th. Alex Lynn for company as well, but we've got 3 drivers off into the hairpin 4 or hairpin 3. Having a quick look, and it's Oscar Waugh who turns Max Wilkinson round, and then Stanley Clark has got nowhere to go. Neither's Ben Adrian really, he goes quite slowly. It's Oscar Waugh into the back of Max Wilkinson there, and I knew something was going to happen in this one, and it certainly did. At the front though, Joseph Yao crosses the line with 43 seconds to go. He's going to get round. This is going to be an 18 or 19 lap final. Can Riley Sims-Ezard then, now in 2nd place, hold on from Melissa Adrian? Everybody that was 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th previously are up to 3rd, 4th and 5th. Ben Adrian, who was there, has dropped back down into P6. He was in the mix already. He was up in 4th place. Now he's dropped down into 6th, but it's the rest of them. It was Max Wilkinson and Oscar Waugh. They're coming together. Time is down to 0, but Yao is already through. Leading comfortably, 3.7 seconds. From Riley Sims-Ezard and Melissa Adrian. Adrian looks like this one could be hers for the taking. Look over the shoulder by Riley Sims-Ezard, sees Melissa Adrian lurking. And Melissa Adrian, who started this race in 18th place, is going to challenge on this final lap for 2nd place. Currently guaranteed a podium if she finishes where she is. Final lap for Joseph Yao as Riley Sims-Ezard comes through in 2nd place. Melissa Adrian in 3rd, and Sims-Ezard makes a mistake. He goes wide into the national loop, trying to hold on from Melissa Adrian, and he's going to come back at her down the inside into hairpin number 1. Contact between the two of them. It's going to give Alex Lynn an opportunity to run down towards South Bank at the back of them. Melissa Adrian defends to the inside as we follow Joseph Yao round the final 2 corners towards the checkered flag, and Sims-Ezard hasn't given this one up yet. He's still battling it out into the final corner. Joseph Yao takes victory at round 1 in junior Rotax from Melissa Adrian and Riley Sims-Ezard, the top 3. He's still thrilled with P3 in his first junior Rotax race. Riley Sims-Ezard will go to the podium with Joseph Yao and Melissa Adrian. Alex Lynn finishes in 4th. Ben Adrian P5. And then it's going to be Sebastian Corking, Max Wilkinson, Harry Holland, Amy Peacock and Samuel Yeadon rounding out the junior Rotax top 10.